Do you know there's only one person that's ever said that they've actually seen that? There's only like one reported sighting, technically, of the Mothman, and one reported sighting that someone actually saw, and then there's other people that say that, oh, I think it was a Mothman, and they say that he comes before like tragedies and shit.
Yeah, like that's what the movie was based on. So like the Mothman, there was a Mothman sighting in Massachusetts. I just read this book this week about cryptids in Massachusetts, and there was in the Bridgewater Triangle, which like where I grew up in the Bridgewater Triangle, and it's like this weird area where like, are we recording yet?
Yeah, we're recording.
Well, let's start and then we'll talk about that. So let me do the start part and
Ryan,
then
move your vape.
we'll do that.
One more.
No, we're already recording.
You suck.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of the 3-episode podcast. We are kicking off the spooky trio this week by talking about some cryptids. If you don't know what cryptids are, they are, let's talk about it after I introduce the folks. So, as usual, I am your host, Justin, taking over the reins from John, who had it last trio for our music trio, right? Yeah.
Sure did.
So, as usual, I'm your MC, Justin. To my left, as far as I can see it, is Val.
She's right below you, actually.
Hi, everybody.
Okay, so now I'm looking at the YouTube, so now it's different. To my left is Steve.
Hey, what's up? Morning.
To his left is Ryan.
Oh.
And then below him is John, who is making a drink.
I'm making a daiquiri.
Was making a drink.
Just some simple syrup. I made it at home, boiling water a little bit, half a part. Bingo, good enough.
Nice. Is this going to be your new segment? John makes us a drink.
I honestly think it should be because it's really cool that we can.
Yeah, I love that.
Actually, so I was on the phone with my boss about an hour ago. I'm like, what should I make on the air tonight? Because last week I made a Dutch donkey and I told him about the red ass thing and he didn't like that at all. So thanks, Ryan, for ruining delicious drinks to us. So Japanese rum from Okinawa. A little bit of lime juice, 2 parts rum, 1 part lime juice, half a part simple syrup. Like I said, just some boiling water, a little bit of sugar, and salut.
Nice. Very nice, John.
Excellent.
So we are talking about cryptids this week. And we have Val, who just went to the Cryptid Museum. Do you want to tell our listeners what a cryptid is, Val? Since you're kind of our not guest, but you're kind of our expert this week.
We're all experts.
Person who's take too much time thinking about these things. So a cryptid, I mean, someone can look up the definition because I don't know the definition completely, but like from my understanding, a cryptid is something in folklore or recorded in like written or oral history that is a creature of any kind that has not scientifically been proven to be true for a fact or
I have the actual definition if you'd like.
I was about to say that. I have it written down from, the research that I do before.
Yeah, throw it up.
Animals presumed by the followers of the cryptozoology pseudoscientific subculture to exist on the basis of anecdotal or other evidence considered insufficient by mainstream science.
Okay, so I have cryptids are mainly plants, animals, and other eukaryotes not recognized by the scientific community or thought to be extinct, but some believe they're still alive today. Cryptids are creatures whose existence is based on alleged sightings of varying degrees of supported evidence. So you either believe in some cryptids or you don't. And in order for them to be a cryptid, the scientific community as a whole has to be like, no, that's bullshit.
However, there are cryptids that have, so the whole basis of like the logo of so I went to the National Cryptozoology Museum up in Portland this weekend, and their branding was a coelacanth, which is a huge blue fish that was thought to be extinct for like millions of years, and then so that's why it was considered a cryptid. But there were sites of it through history, and they just recently have started discovering them again. So it went from being a cryptid to an actual animal that's still around.
Yeah, I have a list of cryptids that turned out to be real too.
Yeah. Oh, cool. Sweet.
Like the
So,
platypus. That's one that's up there.
The platypus is a fun story if you want to get into platypi.
I just feel like God threw all the spare parts onto a platypus. They're like, we got a beak. And he's got like this weird tail. I guess we'll make him lay eggs, and venom. We want venom.
Yeah, because he was
Okay,
drunk.
I'm gonna quickly tell the fun version, like the fun short version of the platypus tale. So the platypus tale starts with the colonization of Australia, and of course they sent the scientists down there to go and look around at the natural biology, and he ended up stumbling upon a platypus, and he sent back a report describing this back to England, and everybody in England was like, dude, you're fucking high or some shit. What the fuck is wrong with you? So he was like, no, fuck you guys. I saw this thing. It exists. It's a real thing. They're like, well, all right, go get us one. And he was like, okay. And he went back down to Australia, and he went and he got one. But since preservation wasn't like that good of a thing, by the time he got it back to England, it was a shitty little specimen, basically. And everybody that came and saw it from the scientific community was like, dude, you just took a duck and you took a fucking beaver and you just tied it all together. You think we think you're right? And he was like, no, fuck you guys, they're real.
So that is like, that's a huge part of why the cryptid community is like kind of considered like, why it creates so much skepticism, because hoaxing in cryptozoology is like super prevalent.
Yeah.
There's like the something mermaid. Everybody's seen those, like the old picture of like, it looked like a woman's skeleton with like a mermaid tail, and it turned out to be like somebody sewed a monkey onto a fish or something.
Yeah.
And there's the episode of The Simpsons where an angel falls to the earth and everyone is like, oh my God, we gotta repent. And Lisa's super duper like not into it. And it turns out to just be like a statue for like the local shopping mall.
Yep. Oh God.
Hey, real quick, do you guys want to hear another fun little Australia story?
Sure.
Okay.
Australia is the only country to lose a war against birds.
Yep. The Great Emu War.
It's one of my favorite things from history.
So you want to know what really common animal was a cryptid before 1860?
Fox.
The gorilla. Yeah. The gorilla was a cryptid before 1860. There's an adventurer that came back from the jungles of Africa and wrote about these giant hairy beasts. And everyone was like, nah, you're smoking some crack. We don't believe you.
Well, that
And
makes
that was medicine back then, though, Justin.
Yeah, and that's where the whole King Kong thing came from. Was like
Yeah.
this amazing creature, like nobody believed that it exists kind of thing. Except for that is an exaggerated story about a much bigger, which again, King Kong himself could be a cryptid, like, I don't know.
Justin, do you have that list of like the different kinds of, like the different categories of cryptids?
Yeah, according to Wikipedia, there's aquatic or semi-aquatic, there's terrestrial, and then there's winged. Are the three categories that they have them broken down into.
Okay, so like they fly or they walk.
Yes.
How would they group in, I guess, semi-extraterrestrial?
Semi-extraterrestrial?
I don't know how to word it any other way, but like for example, my personal favorite cryptid is the Flatwoods monster.
Okay.
Which if you're for the people at home who are unaware, it's prevalent in like Fallout 76. It's a West Virginia based one located in, of all places, Flatwoods, West Virginia.
That's not I don't actually have that up here. Sorry, John. I don't have that up here on the Wikipedia. It's not in the list of cryptids.
If you actually look at a picture of it, though, it kind of looks like a robot. Like, picture the robot from Lost in Space.
Okay.
Now give it glowing red eyes. And actually, even better, do you remember the pill from Osmosis Jones?
Yes.
Yes.
Picture like it floats kind of and looks kind of like his upper body.
Hold on, I'll
Okay.
just pull up a picture.
It's so terrifying. Like it's the scariest thing, but you know, it's
What is it
something
called
that
again, Sean?
what's up?
What is it called?
The Flatwoods monster.
It's this dude.
Let me actually get back on Zoom because I was looking at the
But
it's
it's
him.
yeah, so like but with glowing red eyes or
Yep.
glowing whatever.
Yep.
So
He's my scary boy. Yeah,
He is
that's
a-
it. And that's why I say like semi-extraterrestrial, because you know they're not sure if it's an alien. They're not really sure what it is. If you go down on the actual Wikipedia page, it like kind of shows like a barn owl, and I'm just like, no.
Yeah.
Honey.
So like there's so many. Okay, so I have a few different kinds of like favorite cryptids. So I just read a book all about like the cryptids and paranormal stuff that goes on in Massachusetts. And I took some notes from that. But I also like one of the ones in Massachusetts that was like super cool to me was something called the Dover Demon.
Oh, that thing is terrifying.
Okay, so yeah, so are you
That's
guys
a no from me, dog.
so are you guys cool? Like I have two from this book that I like can like slam through really quick if you guys want to hear them.
Hit me with your
go
best
ahead.
shot.
Okay.
So I figured since it was like Massachusetts, you know, I'm from Massachusetts, so I would rep my state. So Dover is 15 miles southwest of Boston. So the Dover Demon was first sighted in 1977. Someone driving saw a small creature, like a little bit larger than a dog, with large, round, glowy eyes, like a watermelon-shaped head, small, like spindly limbs, and like it was described as like shark skin, so like smooth. So if someone wants to pull up the Dover Demon,
Done.
I don't want to do that. I don't want to be scared tonight as I Google other things.
So over the course of a few days in Dover in 1977, this thing was seen a few times. So there was like, you know, seen the same night again by a teenager, and then the next day around midnight by another couple people. And then so people started to do, cryptozoologists started to do, and like, you know,
I hate you. Oh. No,
They
all right, folks at home, just so you know, I have the YouTube up on my TV, and I just have a thing staring at me.
me?
No, hey, I'm gonna send you guys a picture. It's real bad.
Yeah, watch. If anybody's
it's gone,
listening,
thank God.
If anybody's listening, go to our YouTube channel, and you know, especially for episodes like this where I'm sharing a lot of photos so that you know we can all see and people that are watching can see. Just you watch our YouTube videos. Just watch the videos themselves. Like we love getting podcast views, but you know, if for stuff like this, just watch the YouTube videos. So
Well,
you can see what
especially
I'm talking
because
about.
I look the way that I look right now. You want
That's
the video.
also true. Val's face is awesome. Her makeup is awesome. So if you were listening to this, please pause on Spotify or Anchor, whatever you're listening to it on. Please pause, go to YouTube, type in the 3-episode podcast, look for our channel, and then find this video. Or go to our website, 3eppodcast.com, and then go to videos. There you go.
And then you can look at my ridiculous face.
Yeah.
So the Dover Demon, they investigators started looking into like the town history, and they found a 1914 account of something called a polka, which is they think is a misspelled interpretation of a puka. And a puka is the ancient name for creatures and goblins of the night, also known through different European cultures as fuka, buka, polpagan, puck. And Puck is a character in Shakespeare's Midsummer Night's Dream, Pookie. And so they think that maybe it could have been something that was cited, like a mythological creature that was cited around that time, and all those, you know, could have been the same kind of creature. The Cree Indians, so someone also saw a journal entry from 1958.
What the fuck?
Cree Indians of Eastern Canada having stories of something called the Managishi, which are little people with round heads and no noses who like to play jokes on travelers. That's not the fucking Dover Demon.
That's what comes up when you Google it.
Oh my God, that's terrifying. So
Was it the thing on its hands and knees? I'm about to see it right now on YouTube. I'm not looking.
terrible.
Oh.
It's terrible. You don't want to. So people who were skeptics thought it possibly could have been a wet dog, a hoax, or the legs of a moose because the legs are really spindly. I just think the Dover demon is a really cool. It's just like I love the idea of like doing an investigation and then finding like
Justin, make
decades
it go away,
before
please.
weird
I'm scared.
weird little like references to it.
Thank God.
Wait, John, what did you think was going to happen? We're talking about cryptids. A lot of these
Yeah,
cryptids
and
are
I'm
really
a little
creepy.
bitch. You know this.
Pee pee poo poo bitch boy.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, so the next one, I don't want
I'm
to.
not
I
drunk
don't
enough
want.
for this yet.
I really don't want to bogart this episode because I want to get it over with so everybody else can just get their shit over with. So I grew up in in the corner of something called the Bridgewater Triangle, and it's about 200 square miles in Massachusetts. I grew up in Attleboro in the corner of Norton, and that's the bottom left corner of what's considered to be the Bridgewater Triangle. And there's been all through the past decades, there's been all sorts of different kinds of cryptid sightings, paranormal sightings, everything from UFO sightings, disappearances, creature sightings, high rates of accidents, skinwalkers, thunderbirds, Mothman, alien abductions, alien sightings, phantom panthers, to the point where they had to do a lion's hunt, something called the Mansfield Mystery Cat, huge black dogs, which could possibly be hellhounds.
So just to cut you off for a second. So you just mentioned the phantom. So one of the top 12 most common ones I have are the phantom cats. And when I looked up what it was, it's really interesting because all the rest of the cryptids are kind of like, oh, like this weird thing that people swear they say. Phantom cats are literally just, let's say, Connecticut.
Just tell me it's a kitty.
Well, no, it's literally, I saw a panther in Connecticut. Like that kind of shit. It's like phantom cats are literally like seeing giant cats places they're not supposed to be.
Right. Okay. So yeah. So there's also been sightings of hairy red chimps and the like chimp-like apes in the Bridgewater Triangle, and so that's considered a cryptid just because like we don't have chimpanzees in Massachusetts. It's not something that we see. But the craziest part of this is that. So have you guys ever heard of like the Hockomock area of Massachusetts?
No.
So there right around where I live is like called the Hockomock. It's like the Hockomock area. And the reason why it's called that is because the local Indian tribe, referred to that area as Hockomoco, and the translation of that is full of evil spirits. And so they were referred to as the Hockomock area.
Oh, that's a wonderful place for white people to come in and just start building places.
Yeah.
What we're first gonna do is we're gonna build a Whole Foods.
Yeah.
Then, whatever else they did on South Park.
What are the Indians saying? What are the Indians saying? I don't know. I don't know what they're saying. This place full of evil.
Whatever. They're saying Hockomoco in their shade. They're running away. I don't know.
They're over here saying that, and then you just hear one guy going Mecca lecca hi, Mecca hiney hiney ho.
This is honestly the movie This is like the movie Poltergeist. This is what white people get for doing dumb things.
Yeah.
There's been a ton of stuff that goes on in the Bridgewater Triangle. Something called puckwudgies, which are like these little magical creatures from the Wampanoag lore that are associated with Cape Cod. And they're like these little mischievous creatures who are said to like play tricks on or like kidnap the Wampanoag tribe and the Wampanoag people. There's also been a ton of Bigfoot sightings in the Bridgewater Triangle in the 70s and 80s. Some of them resulted in like police hunts. I said Mothman. There's been in the 70s, there was a lot of different sightings of like giant snakes. Like in 1970, there was a 8-foot boa constrictor, and 1939, there was sightings of huge snakes.
Gif of Jerry Seinfeld at like the movie theater, he just like, I'm out, and that's literally about to be me.
So
I could see something like a 8-foot boa constrictor like being found. Maybe it like accidentally escaped or some shit. You know, like people keep 8-foot boa constrictors. That's not that big of a like cryptid thing, but like that weird
they don't belong there
thing.
Well, yeah, that's the thing. It's like it varies so so I have a personal theory for it. And like, I'm clearly like, I consider myself to be like an open skeptic, but I also have like a lot of hope that there's like wacky things out there.
Yeah.
I think that like, so I feel like this part of Massachusetts maybe is on one of those like, you know, those parts of the country that are on like different electromagnetic fields that like could possibly open up like wormholes to different dimensions and stuff. If you heard
Aren't they
like
called like astral lines or
I'm
something like
just,
that?
I'm
I
just
feel
gonna
like
go ahead and just
ley lines.
end it because that's terrible. I don't.
Wait, okay, so Val, this is kind of off subject, but so as you're talking, I decided to look up Bridgewater Triangle, right? And I'm looking at all these things and all these pictures, and there's something that's
Please
talking
don't
about
post any. I really.
no. Just this is actually funny, John. One of them is talking about the Bridgewater Triangle, like the Indians when they met, like the Indians, and there's this painting that
I
comes
prefer
up.
the term Native people.
Native people, sorry. There's this picture that comes up, and just tell me what's wrong with this picture.
Are they all white? They're all white.
No, just look at the handshake.
Well, no,
what,
that makes
what the
because-
fuck is he doing with his hand?
Also, not to be that guy, but most natives in this area didn't really wear headdresses like that.
well,
Okay, I wasn't going for the accuracy of the picture.
Is anybody
But look
shocked
how-
that we've misrepresented Native cultures? Nobody's
Look how
shocked.
pissed. Look how
Yeah,
pissed that Indian is.
I
So-
think we-
Native American, Ryan. God damn it! I just said it.
Sorry, Native American. Look how pissed he is.
No, but look at the
What the fuck
handshake.
are you doing?
What is he doing with his hand?
no,
These
I'm
white
telling
folks are dangerous.
no, Native Americans probably didn't. I don't know. When strange people walk up to me, I don't want to shake their hand. I don't want.
I give him the Roman.
So that's like he's giving him the limp hand.
Yeah, good for
Like a
him.
strong arm.
Also, the guy's gun is upside down too.
The thing though,
It's weird.
No, that's not out of the ordinary though, Ryan. That's pretty standard actually. But
these pilgrims probably came right off a boat that they've been sailing on for 2 months. They haven't bathed. They smell like an open asshole. They probably
they're looking
like,
for a toilet.
they have rat shit all over their clothes. I wouldn't want to shake their hand either.
Yeah, but
They're like, I can see your veins through your skin. Why are you so pale? What the fuck?
Oh, I love it.
I thought. So yeah, so I grew up in the Bridgewater Triangle, and I feel like that's maybe why I am the way that I am.
Well, see, it also connects into the story you're telling of like that's their Badlands, like their evil spirits place. They're like, we'll just sell the white people on the evil spirit land over there.
I was gonna say that. I was gonna say that. It's like Indians. Is there any way that we can settle somewhere? Yeah, we have empty land over here. What is it called? Hakamaka. What does that mean? Nice place for white people.
Well, you go live there. It's nice. It definitely doesn't mean that it's full of evil spirits from a portal to another universe. Uh-huh.
Oh God. Yeah, that's awesome.
So yeah. So those are my two favorite. And then I'll talk a little bit more about stuff later because I have some other stuff whenever we
hey, just real quick. Hey folks at home, in the chat on YouTube, which is down there-ish, let us know your favorite cryptid.
Yes, that was actually a question I was going to ask you guys. It was one of the questions that I had queued. I was going to have us talk about the top 12 that I had, the top 12 most popular, which I gave you guys a list, so you guys already know this, but just for our listeners, it goes Sasquatch, Yeti, Mothman, the Phantom Cats, like we were talking about, the Mongolian Deathworm, which has got to be my favorite name for a cryptid, Thunderbirds, the Mokele Membe, I'm hoping that I'm pronouncing that correctly, the Jersey Devil, Chupacabra, Loch Ness Monster, Kraken, and then Barmanow, which is
only one of those needs about tree fitting.
What?
Only one of them needs about tree fitting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I don't think that a kraken, like, it matters what you're like calling a kraken. Like,
So the
technically-
Kraken, The kraken that they have up here is the animal is known in Scandinavian folklore as a giant cephalopod-like sea monster. According to Norse sagas, an animal named Kraken lives on the seam of Norway and Greenland and frightens nearby sailors.
There's also
it
champ.
does.
Right? That's considered like or is that something different?
So this is a giant squid that's more giant than giant squids, because giant squids used to be up here too until I don't think it was even that long ago that giant squids were thought to be folklore as well. They were thought to be cryptids because giant squids are
ended
one of
up
the
finding
ones.
one or two. Like they actually found like a tentacle washed ashore or something. That's when they realized that it's possible that they can grow this big, and that's a lot of fucking calamari.
You know what was also
Yeah.
cryptids? My favorite cryptid that turned out to not be a cryptid was Komodo dragons. There was a lot of explorers that came back from why is the name of the island chain escaping me? But
Galapagos.
They came. Thank you, John. They came back from the Galapagos with these writings about these giant dragons, land dragons that had legs, and people are like, "Wow, the crack from the Galapagos must be great." And they just did not believe them until there's more documented evidence. So
wait, tell us about some of the cryptids that are now considered like actual animals.
So the list that I have here of the most well-known ones are the platypus, the okapi.
The okapi.
Okapi, sorry, yes.
Oh,
Yeah.
they're so
The
sweet.
okapi.
Did you really just say okapi as okapi? Oh, look, it's an
Fuck you.
okapi.
Dude, how
Where's
much
the
Zoo
okapi
Tycoon
over
did we
there?
fucking play as kids for you to goddamn say okapi?
Listen,
I want to go to the zoo with you and have you point out the fucking okapi.
And the leopards. And the leons. Oh, he's so little.
that one's got a sweet looking butt, and he
That one's
knows
got a
it.
Yeah,
dog.
it does.
He got a
knows-
dog.
And it's looking back at you all naughty and everything.
Like yo.
Oh, you looking? You
He's like-
looking?
Yeah.
I see you looking. You want some?
So
baby.
gorillas are up
Kicking
here.
that ass.
Komodo dragons are up here, and then the Bondig. I don't know how to fucking. It's
Go
a
ahead,
small,
say it.
huh?
Just say it or spell it.
Put it in the chat.
BONDEGEZOU.
Just put it in the chat. I'll fucking say it
Bond-
terribly
yeah.
for you.
Okay. There you go. That word.
So someone in the chat is saying Jessica Marie is saying I'm pretty sure people thought giraffes were considered cryptids at one point, which makes perfect.
Yeah.
Jess,
That
I love
definitely makes
you.
sense.
Yeah.
I miss you. I
yeah.
miss your Fallout-esque everything.
Jessica, thank you for that, and your eyebrows look great.
Yeah, they do. You should genuinely see her when she's all done up. Like
I'd love to.
she's so great. I love you, Jess.
So wait, I feel like the coelacanth, it's over there. I'm not getting it. The coelacanth is one of those animals that was considered. So it's weird because like some of them were considered to be cryptids because they went extinct, and some were considered to be cryptids because they just look fucking weird.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, people wrote down because I mean, before there was photographs and stuff, explorers would go to these continents and these countries, and they would bring it back to the civilized world. Their
Yeah.
writings, and they would write down descriptions of things that they saw, and people again were like, "What kind of drugs were you smoking?" Because that sounds like nothing I've ever
I
heard of
may
before.
be mistaken, but I feel as though it was one of the Arctic adventures. Somebody saw a seal and just said it was a water creature, and it
So
jumped onto the ice, and then it disappeared below, and or polar bears is
Polar
as well.
bears. I was supposed to say polar bears or something. Giant white bears were something that I know were cryptids.
Like
So
the
people-
narwhal?
You could kind of understand why a lot of sailors and fishermen have like a ton of weird tales, because there's some weird creepy shit in the ocean and in lakes technically too, but I mean like there's some weird creepy shit, especially from the deep ocean that you pull up. Like look up a fucking goblin shark.
Yeah.
Goblin sharks just look like malformed, like yeah.
Are
Very
those the ones
insane.
that their jaw like comes out of their head?
Yes.
Yeah.
The jaw fully extends out.
Well, it's like, I mean, related to that, it reminds me of that one bit from that Bill Engvall used to do about the dorkfish.
Yeah.
And he'd be like, I'm a dorkfish. They caught me with a corn dog. I look like this. Just does all that. And it's like, I never thought that it could be real. And then I looked up that actual fish. And I'm just like, all right, I guess I don't know if this is legit or not, because I was like 12 when those guys came out. But yeah, I mean, yeah, it was one of those.
Shark.
Goblin shark.
Oh, we got to find a video of a goblin shark eating. I would explain that to me. If someone was like, hey, I just was on a boat for 2 weeks and I saw an animal whose mouth came out of its body, I would probably be like, you've been drinking your own piss, haven't you?
Hey, is it necessary? No. But it's sterile and I like the taste.
Is it going to kill you? Nah.
God damn it. Fucking put it up on the screen, Justin. I hate you.
What, the goblin shark?
Oh.
There's some really fun stuff that ocean explorers still find to this day underneath the oceans, like in the deep parts. There's like shit that I've watched, like I think I've recommended Ocean X before, or Nautilus. They do a live stream while they're doing their EV vehicle dives all the time, so you can watch, and then they record everything. And they have a lot of fun stuff that they found, but they found like just at one point they found like just this weird, like almost glowing purple mass that just floated past the cameras at one point.
Well,
and everybody was like, what in the fuck was that thing?
That's all
nobody knew.
Well, they had those the giant tubes. I forget what the hell they were called. They had the giant tubes.
The internet.
What?
The internet. It's a series of tubes.
John. No, the giant living tubes that they had that sailors used to turn around and say that they like pulled up with their nets, and they're like, there was this giant tube that was swimming, and then we pulled it up and it was like transparent, and people are like, what the fuck are you talking about? And then they more recently found they actually got them like on video. It's like they can be like 20 to 30 feet long, just these giant like jelly tube things.
Oh yeah,
I forget what the hell they're called. For the longest time, people did not know for real, like they did not know for sure that those actually existed.
So those are really interesting. Those belong to I know what you're talking about now. And if when thinking you're talking about, they're very interesting because they're not actually creatures, they're colonies of creatures.
Right.
And it's actually several different types of creatures that all like sort of form together, and they make like almost one whole creature that can like act as a creature on itself, but in reality it's all these different creatures connected together in a colony, so it's all have different parts.
It's like a deep sea megazord,
kind of. They're really cool looking, some of them.
They're called Cypho. What the hell? I cannot pronounce this.
Say it out. Spell it out. Cyclo what?
It's wait 1 second. Where is it? Siphonophone.
Siphonophores.
Yeah. Oh
because they basically siphon things in.
Yeah.
They're pretty fucking crazy.
So, like, I feel like most of the deep sea, we've discovered, like, didn't somebody say that, like, we've discovered more of the moon than we have about the ocean?
Yeah, we actually talked about that in our aliens trio.
Yeah, we know more about space than we do about our own ocean.
Sense to me. Like, I feel like it makes a ton of sense that people would consider, like, think about, like, oarfish. Those like fish that are like 30 feet long and just have like the long whipping tail. Or, like a hammerhead shark. A hammerhead shark is the derpiest looking thing I've ever seen in my life. Someone was like, no, it had like a T, the letter T on its head, and the eyes are on me, and I'd be like, give me some of your drugs. But there's so many different things. Evolution's so weird. But I think because I feel like belief wise, because the ocean is so evolutionarily diverse, that's kind of what makes me feel more open to cryptids, is because like there's so much land that like, yeah, humans are everywhere, but like there's little pockets of land where like, you know, who knows what's hanging out in like mountains or like in like, you know, Antarctica or something like that.
So that brings me to one of my questions. So in your opinion, which cryptid in the top 12 that we discussed do you think has the best chance of being real?
Okay, what was the top 12 again?
I said it's in the chat.
Yeah, I was
okay.
I was gonna say, you know, let's I'm gonna look at this objectively for a moment.
So Sasquatch, Yeti, Mothman, Phantom. We'll kick Phantom cats out because those are already technically real. Mongolian deathworm, Thunderbirds, the Mokle Membe, Jersey Devil, Chupacabra, Loch Ness Monster, Kraken, and Barramanyu. And the Barramanyu is basically like a African version of Sasquatch, which the same thing. Yeti is like a
I call him a snow
mountain
squatch.
yeah, snow squatch is a snow version of Sasquatch.
Anybody ever
Go
Trailer
ahead,
Park?
Belle.
The Sam Squanch from Trailer. That was it.
I
Man, bear, pig?
half man,
Ooh.
half bear, half pig. Man, bear, pig.
That's a good cryptid.
I mean,
Here, I'm gonna put
looking at the list
these-
alone, the two that make the most sense that could be real are Jersey Devil and Chupacabra, because they already assume that those are just wild dogs that they haven't been able to like catch.
Yeah.
I don't want to Google what the Mongolian deathworm is, but I hope it's a fucking graboid.
Set it on fire. Set it on fire. Hey,
That would be awesome.
hey,
The Mongolian wait. The Mongolian deathworm is
Please
believed to
don't
be
put it on
found
the screen.
No, is found to be in the vast Gobi Desert of Asia. The animal is said to be red in color and to measure anywhere from 2 to 5 feet in length. The Mongolian deathworm is also known as, not going to say that, or intestine worm because of its similarity to that found in the intestine of cows.
gross.
I don't like it.
I hate it. I hate
Although
I'll take two.
I do think that could probably be real too now. So I mean, like those three are the ones that make the most sense. And
I
of course, Loch Ness Monster we've already proven to be real because it keeps asking for tree fitty.
I agree with you about the Chupacabra. I feel like it's so evolutionarily close to like a dingo, or just like it's so probable that there was just like a weird evolutionary like left turn that like it could be something that we just don't see a lot of. I just
Well, I was gonna say Chupacabra too, because it could really, in some of the descriptions, and a lot of the descriptions that are like less crazy descriptions of it, could just be a dog that has mange and rabies, pretty much.
It
Yeah.
somehow
That
doesn't die.
cows.
Like that's the thing about it,
Yeah.
is because they
Right.
always see like the same or very close to the same description every single time.
So I think that if it is actually a dog with rabies, then it disproves a Chupacabra, because it's not a Chupacabra at that point.
Well,
I
now I
think
have to
it-
fucking look up Thunderbirds now because Jess says they're real and I'm terrified for this.
Oh, Thunderbirds are cool, and Thunderbirds are tied to the Mothman.
Thunderbirds are go while we're at it, so
Thunderbirds are just giant birds. They're just like big birds.
Yeah.
It's a blanket term. Wait, it's a very blanket term for impossibly large birds. Are frequently seen in North America, and Europe, and Asia. Also known as rocks. They're meant to have wings as large as 14 feet. Yeah.
I'm laughing so hard because I looked up Thunderbirds and the first thing that came up is Thunderbirds are go. And I'm so happy for that. Thank you, phone. You know me so well.
So I feel like Thunderbirds have a ton of really beautiful like folklore about like being able to like predict like events. Like you see Thunderbirds before events happen, which is tied into Mothman and what the Mothman sightings are. And then there's like Thunderbirds are said to like be able to influence like weather patterns and all different kinds of things. And I just think it's there to me. That is also like, I would say that would be probably be my second choice, because like birds, this is going to sound so stupid. Birds can literally fly wherever they want.
Yeah.
So like if it's like this 14-foot bird who that at this elevation that we aren't reaching somewhere where we can't get to, there's just like a colony of humongous birds that are, you know, the evolutionary descendants of what natives called thunderbirds or indigenous called thunderbirds. And there's been thunderbirds sightings all over the world. So
Hey
it's gotta
John.
be-
How big are they supposed to be?
What?
Hey John. Mongolian deathworm.
oh,
I fucking hate you. Hang on.
oh God. Oh,
Wait, that's just a fucked
Red
up bobbit
rocket.
worm.
Yum.
That's just a bobbit worm. That's a real thing.
that's got Tim Burton that looks like some Tim Burton bullshit is what that looks like.
I mean, are we just?
That's
We're not
what's
going to give
called
Tim Burton a
bobbit worm.
pass, though, right?
We're not
What?
going to give a pass. What?
Wait, why? What's wrong with Tim Burton?
I said we're just not going to give him a pass, though.
I mean, he
Ugh,
definitely.
it came up a second time on my actual YouTube, and I don't like it. Ugh.
John,
So
have you ever seen a bobbit worm?
Ryan, I don't want to see a bobbet worm. I just saw a red rocket coming from the earth, and I'm thinking I'm going to get fucked. No,
what about a Lorena bobbit worm?
I don't. Is that a pun?
It's a pun. This Lorena Bobbitt's the one that cut her husband's dick off because he cheated on her, and she cut it off and threw it out the window, and then they found it and sewed it back on, and
There's
then
a
he
Weird
did,
Al song for that.
and then he did porn.
And then he did porn.
I'm not kidding. These
That's
are
a
all
great ending to that story. And then he did porn.
the ending to the story. That's the end. That's the last important part about that story is that he did porn. Can you imagine that being like, I'm gonna like, I honestly, personal opinion, someone cut my dick off and then it somehow got sewed back on and it somehow still worked, I would 100% do porn. 100%.
I mean, at least that's a
His
story
dick is-
to tell people at a bar or something
There's-
like that.
Oh,
Yo,
God.
my dick got cut off and it's back. Does it work still? Yeah, I do porn.
Yeah.
I do porn.
I don't like this at all. Let's get back on track. Oh my god, this is terrible.
Okay, so
Remember the song Detachable Penis?
no.
Detachable.
Yeah.
So wait,
Please-
so
Ba, 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 ba. Ba, 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 ba.
On track. I'm ruining everything.
okay, so which one did we think is the most likely to be real? Is
La
the
Chupacabra.
The puppy dog ones.
the Chupacabra? What about the Loch Ness monster?
We already know it's real. It keeps asking one black guy for $3.50.
I don't know. I just feel like the equipment, the level of equipment that we have, I feel like we should have been able to, like, I don't know. There's cameras everywhere now. We're in
True.
we're
Yeah.
we're in the age of Big Brother, basically. This is 1984. If there was
Yes,
sites of
It's actually
some
2020, but
people are posting every picture of every meal they have, like there should be some sighting of something, and we don't have it. I feel like for that reason, I'm like,
Yeah.
But don't forget, we also
Especially
with the
since-
technology of everything is fake as well,
Yeah.
because everyone decides to Photoshop everything.
right.
Especially the size of the creature that's being described and the fact that it's basically what they're saying it is, a plesiosaur, is a it is a carnivore, the actual dinosaur that they think it is.
Plesiosaur.
There would have been a sighting, like a real sighting by now.
Yeah.
Like
So-
there's 100% no way that it could exist.
So the other one that's also kind of like that, and I know you guys probably don't know. Do you know what the Mokle Membe is? It's from the Congo River.
So
So
that's a dinosaur. That's Congo's dinosaur.
yeah,
right.
this
Yeah.
is the Mokle Membe. It's a
let me
brontosaurus.
wait 10 seconds for it to come up on YouTube.
Yeah, so it's a brontosaurus. It's basically just it's kind of the same thing that they say the Loch Ness monster is. It's just a dinosaur that didn't die off, and this is kind of the same thing. It's the Congo River's brontosaurus creature thing.
Meanwhile, there's that one band who's like, boom, boom, shakalaka, boom, boom. And he's like, open the door, get on the floor. Everybody watch the dinosaur.
Nice.
Yeah, I could fuck with that. I can hang out with him.
So the other question that I have is the most famous, I think, cryptid, as far as everyone around the country would probably know, is probably Bigfoot. Do you guys agree with that? That's probably the most famous one. So
I
I would
think
say so.
I think there could be like a three-way tie on this one. And that would be like Chupacabra. I'm actually gonna lump Bigfoot and Yeti together.
Yep.
Yeah.
Right.
Only because I have always used them like interchangeably. And then of course Loch Ness Monster, and that's solely because, it's got such that following, plus South Park, added to it a lot.
Right.
Yeah.
So if Bigfoot is real, why, and we make the assumption that Bigfoot is real, why do you think it would not have been recorded by now? Like, can you think of
Because-
any excuses?
I don't think it's that Bigfoot is a bad picture taker. I think that he's just always blurry.
that's
Yeah.
just his power. He just has the power.
Yeah, he's
Exactly.
the power
No,
of
like-
blurriness. Thank you, Mitch Hedberg.
So okay, so this is one of the biggest parts of the Cryptozoology Museum in Portland was they had a huge section about Bigfoot and Yeti, Sasquatch, whatever those bipedal monsters are called. Justin, I just sent you pictures of me with a couple of the creatures from that museum, and one of them was with Bigfoot. So there was a ton of information about like sightings. And like they had a ton of like foot castings and stuff like that. And so what I think it actually is, I feel like have you ever seen that video of the bear standing on 2 feet walking?
Yes.
Yeah.
Bears do this weird thing where they stand up on 2 feet and they walk. They go bipedal for a little while. And I feel like when it comes to like the Yeti, it may have been like a polar bear walking on 2 feet, or like if it was the, Bigfoot, maybe it was, oh yeah, that's me and my dude. So that's at the museum. That's one of the few places where you can take the picture. And then in the background, you can see the coelacanth, which is that big blue bird. And the skeleton in the back is supposedly one, like a rendition of like a giant skeleton that they found or something like that. I don't know. There's also like, so Bigfoot and Yeti are also tied into like possibly being like an offshoot of the hominid as like giants. And I don't know how I feel about it, because I feel like there's a ton of evidence, not evidence. There's just a ton of like casting. There's a ton of foot castings. And a lot of scientific investigative work has gone into this. But like, again, there should have been everybody has a GoPro.
Yeah.
Now. Everybody has a fucking phone. There should be more sightings, and we're not seeing, unless, like everything else, humans have ravaged the population of Bigfoots because of the way that we treat the planet, and they're maybe dying off.
I mean, I have 2 theories.
Magic.
Well, that's
Right.
obvious. That's always a theory. The first one is actually based in video game lore from Red Dead Redemption 1. When in the Undead Nightmare, you actually have like a whole quest to go hunting Sasquatches because they eat babies. So then you finally come up to the very last Sasquatch, and it can talk for some reason, because why not? And you find out that no, they just eat berries, and then it died off. 2 is my other favorite idea in life, because I like to think that maybe they are from a different astral plane where they can get like, I don't know, a bracelet or a wristwatch or a necklace, and they have a human form now. And when they take it off, they revert to their cryptid form, i.e.
Nice, John.
the Adventure
Yeah.
Zone.
Nice.
What was that second arc that they just did?
The school one?
Say just did.
The one that
No,
the second one that
you're
Griffin
thinking-
DM'd.
Amnesty.
you're thinking
Amnesty,
of-
thank you.
Amnesty.
Which took place in West Virginia.
Yes.
That is I like the second theory because it's just so cuckoo bananas.
And it's also McElboy bases you have decided to love.
Yes, I love every McElboy. Yeah.
I really subscribe to the whole that it's probably just bears standing on their front 2 feet, because
Yeah.
I mean, like almost every single place that has a like oh, we have a Sasquatch kind of thing, even different countries and stuff, they have fucking bears and they all stand up.
Mm. Yeah,
That's
no,
true.
definitely.
Black bears do it, brown bears do it, Kodiak bears do it, polar bears
Grizzlies.
do it.
So
Yeah.
so out of these top 12, the only one that I can see up there that the most ridiculous, well, do you guys want to take a guess what the most ridiculous one, at least in my opinion, is out of these
Ooh, hang on. Let me look back at the thing. I mean, I didn't Google what the Barmanow is, so I'm not gonna.
It's Barmanow is a big hairy one, and it inhabits. It's basically a big ape. It's in
Okay.
like a human. Like I said, it's basically Asia or not Asia.
Well, then that leaves the
Northern
Mokoloid
Pakistan and
Mabimbam. The Mokoloid, my brother, and me.
No, that the Mokole Mbembe is the giant dinosaur.
Oh, I'm totally cool with that. That's totally. I could fuck with him.
I think the Kraken sounds ridiculous.
Really? Over the Jersey Devil?
No, because the Jersey Devil, like I said, is like another dog.
Oh
No, this is the Jersey Devil.
Oh God, I'm gonna be scared. Oh God, I don't like what's gonna happen.
The Jersey Devil is not a dog. The Jersey
like-
Devil is like a goat bat thing.
It looks
He
like,
looks cute.
it looks like Baphomet minus.
Hey, you know what? I don't like Jersey Devils. Nope.
John,
Folks
I
at
feel
home, you're about to see me be scared.
that could be so many different things. That could be like a moose. That could be like there's so many different animals that look kind of similar to that, like a goat with a weird shadow.
I mean, Satan.
Fucking okay, listen. If it's in New Jersey, who knows what people are doing?
Yeah.
They're
It
like,
is New Jersey.
do you guys
Wait,
remember?
so it's a Snooki?
Do you guys
Aw.
we're making?
Bang Bang.
Bitch, are you a fucking hobbit?
You remember when people were making jenkum when they were like huffing their own poop fumes? Guys, remember that?
No.
I remember the poop
All right,
fumes,
okay.
but I don't remember that.
There was people that there was I don't know, a few years back there was like this someone brought it to my attention that there's this thing called jenkum, and it's essentially you poop in a receptacle and you put a bag over it, and then when the fumes fill the bag, you huff the fumes and get high. And I feel like that is what people were doing when they saw, and they were like, it was a Jersey Devil, it had wings and that just seems like jenkum brain to me. And it's New Jersey, so it's the armpit of
I didn't rob that store. It was the Jersey Devil. I swear, I saw it. I ran in there. It got wings and had horns and yeah.
All right, so I'm keeping an eye on the chat, and Jess just told us to look up a squonk. I want you to picture just like a sadder Eeyore with more rolls and way more pimples all over its body.
A squonk?
A squonk.
It
It's
sounds
just
like
it's always sad.
yeah, reject Pokemon.
Aw.
Reject Pokemon.
Justin,
Oh
have you
my
turned
God.
invisible?
What?
Have you turned invisible? Are you a wizard?
No, I had to go fix my green screen. I don't have a thing for it right now, so
a
it's
green
kinda
screen?
fucked up.
Damn, you fucking fancy bitch.
Oh god damn it! It got fucked up again.
It looks fine. You're doing amazing, sweetie.
You're doing great. I'm proud of you.
Give it up.
Can I talk about my butthole organ chaser?
What?
I guess.
Okay, cool. So this is one of my pieces of art that I have on the wall, and so this is also in the Museum of Cryptozoology. This is a kappa, which is a Japanese water demon, and it is based on like, so they think that like the sightings of them were based on like giant aquatic turtles and like different other aquatic animals, but so the folklore around them is that they will chase people, and like that there's this mythical organ inside your butthole that the kappa wants, and it'll like wait till you're like bent over and like climb up your bum and take, it's like where your soul, where like your essence, your chi is kept in, and it happens to be inside your butthole.
So it just wants to eat my chi.
Yeah, it wants to eat the booty like
It wants to eat my ass cheese.
Yeah, it wants
It wants to lick my shitter like it's an apple pritter.
Oh no.
Oh, no.
So it's also got this like little dish. It's like a little concave part of its head, and it has water, it keeps water in it. And if for some reason they love to wrestle, and if for some reason you get them to spill the water out of their head, they can't sit back up again.
So it's a mobile douche.
So yeah, until someone refills it, and if you refill the water of the kappa, it'll then serve you. It'll like be.
Ooh.
So this is I love this, and I also have a black cat, and so I had to have this piece of artwork. So that's my favorite. Like, I think that's my favorite like Eastern culture cryptid. But yeah, so they think that the kappa was based on like giant aquatic turtles. Yeah.
Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
You nailed it on the head. This is the cryptid that Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles were formed after. That's what TMNT is based on, is a kappa. You
Nice.
nailed it.
I win.
You do win.
This one on screen looks like someone else just found something up its butthole.
Yeah.
That looks like the most unpleasant creature to have up your butthole. Of all the things I want up my butthole, that is the last
Can you
one.
imagine one of those claws? It just like
The webbed claws pulling at your butt cheeks.
God, no. Oh, Justin, make it go away.
Slithering a little claw finger up your booty.
nice.
And the reason why it has the divot in the head is so when you poop, it just lands in it.
Okay,
Yeah,
So that's how we refill it. Okay.
So
Yeah.
we're gonna go around and we're going to what I asked you to come up with. This is make your own cryptid time, and we're going to go around and talk about the cryptids that we thought up. And most of us, except for Val, I don't know if you've ever played D&D, Val, but most of us play D&D, so I'm pretty sure that we can kind of copyright something off of a D&D book in our head and pass it off as our own. So
I've never played D&D, but I feel like when I tell people that, they're very surprised.
well, you should definitely play with us one time, Val, because I think you'd be good at it. Yeah. So who wants to go first? Who's got a cryptid for us?
I mean, I guess I'll go first.
Okay.
So it actually is based on a lot of creatures and cryptids that we have talked about. I mentioned earlier how the Flatwoods Monster is my absolute favorite, because it's got that like extraterrestrial like vibe, kind of like floats through the air, terrifying. But then I also decided like, what would be the scariest thing that it could do? And to me, the scariest thing that any cryptid can do is like either teleport or go invisible. And I started thinking about like, well, what can teleport? Well, pretty much anything from science fiction that you think about. What can go invisible? And I realized the that monster or like the entity from It Follows. It's like you don't see it until it's like right upon you. So like, and then it just kills you. That's absolutely like, for me, the scariest thing is the unknown, not knowing when it's there. So like, even if you're standing in water and you can see the footprints coming at you, like that's only so good for so long. But the other thing is like, you can barricade your house to be as safe as you think it is. Plot twist, it's in your house now and you can't get out. Like, those are the two scariest things that any cryptid can do. It doesn't matter to me what it looks like. It's what it can do. So
that's what you would be?
Yeah, that's absolutely the scariest thing that a cryptid could be, is just invisible or able to teleport.
Okay.
All right.
All
So
right.
All right, go ahead. I've been talking the whole time.
All right. So I created this creature, but it's probably done somewhere else as well. But when I did this, it was a few years ago before I even knew what cryptids were or anything of the sort. So I thought of a black dog about 8 feet tall. Its tail was a cobra, is a cobra snake, and it has red eyes. And its ability was it was able to go into shadows. So it hunted in the dark. Or in broad daylight, it will follow you wherever you go because it's always in your shadow.
So the Vastra, God damn it, what the fuck are they called? Vashta Narada from Doctor Who. Shadow creatures that use the
or that fucking ninja from Naruto.
That fucking ninja from Naruto.
The other thing I'm thinking of is you guys remember that not old, but I mean like old for us, early 2000s, the Johnny Quest TV show?
Yes.
But like when he was a teenager, there was an episode where it was like an Asian protagonist or antagonist, I'm going to call him. And his thing was like he could do like a shadow puppet thing and like make a shadow puppet monster come out.
Maybe that's where I got it from.
Oh my God, it's terrifying. The other thing, Steve, I was thinking of is it reminds me a lot of the Night Stalker from Fallout New Vegas.
Does it really?
Yep.
The Night Stalker was like a coyote or like a wolf with like a snake head, and it like had a rattlesnake tail.
Huh. The beast, my beast has
Justin,
the tail
please don't put it on the background. I'm begging you, please don't put a Night Stalker on the background. That's my least favorite. Oh, thank God. Oh.
No, I have a picture to go along with mine.
Oh God.
Steve is saying that chupacabras have already been discovered, that they're not cryptids anymore. They've actually been discovered. I just saw that. So maybe we were all correct in our assumption that chupacabras would be easily discoverable.
Wait, who?
My boss Steve said that it's
real?
legit.
Oh yeah, John and I, Steve.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but the guy who created this drink that I'm currently drinking.
Okay.
My Jap quarry.
Hi,
That's
Steve.
a bad name. Hi,
Shout out to Steve. Shout out to my favorite Martian.
Well, hello.
Hey, just for the record, in chat, somebody agrees with me that the Night Stalker was awful. So
nice.
All right. Do you want to go?
Sure. So mine is, I don't have a name for it, but mine is a human-like creature that has hair and it's like blubbery. It's made out of like ooze, and it hides under it hides in your garbage and comes out at night and steals things from you. It's where all the hidden stuff goes.
You just described me.
So this photo is courtesy of Scary Stories to Tell in the Dark, but that's what I imagine it looks like.
Oh my gosh. Did you guys see that movie? That was the creepiest part of that movie, was that thing.
Yeah.
This where they're like standing in the hallway and that fucking thing. It looks just like it too. They managed to bring that right to life.
The worst part is as soon as you take this away, I'm going to have it on my fucking TV screen right there.
Oh my God. It's beautiful. Justin, you're beautiful as a cryptid.
Justin, do you watch Robot? It's there again. Do you watch Robot Chicken, right?
Yeah.
You ever see, there was an episode where like there was a booger monster who comes out of the kid's nose and like does.
I have the movie version.
Oh yeah, there's me. It's just me. When I wake up in the morning and have no makeup on, that's what I look like.
Yeah, that's the movie version.
Stop. Oh, I hate you.
Like
there's the booger monster from Robot Chicken that like the cat tries to protect the family from, just ends up like beating the shit out of the child, so they kick the cat out of the house. Like, get the fuck out. Oh, it's back. Oh, I hate this so much.
All right, I'm gonna go next.
Okay.
All right, the cryptid I came up with is called the Lulu.
Shocker. Does it sell leggings?
No, because my middle name's Louise.
Oh, I'm so sorry. Oh, thank God it's gone.
So Lulu is amphibious and dwells between the ocean and the forest. So sightings of Lulu are seen either like the places where like the ocean meets like a forest area. Lulu's purple with green sparkly scales and purple hair.
It's so pretty.
I know. So Lulu has big antlers that come off of its head. It's said to have harnessed the power of nature's growth and has like from its footsteps flowers grow So whenever you see like patches of flowers that look like footprints, it said that that's where the Lulu has walked. If you see a Lulu and you don't feed it, it'll scream at you. And if you feed it, it'll protect you whenever you're swimming in the ocean or when you're hiking through the forest.
Did
So
you
that's the Lulu.
recently watch Princess Mononoke?
Yeah, that's kind of what I was feeling.
No, I've actually never seen that movie. This is just like based on things about me that I really like.
So
Okay,
if we
so
don't feed you, you're gonna scream at us.
I mean, that's usually what happens. If I'm hungry and don't
Wait, is that why you and I are so good friends? Because I fed you pizza that one time?
Wait, no. That's not Princess Mononoke. What that's making me think of is not Princess Mononoke. It's making me think of Spirited Away.
Yes, so that's kind of me. It's just like a vacuous hole where you just put all of the food.
But
Yes.
No, I highly recommend Princess Mononoke. There is the spirit of the woods, of the wilds,
Uh-huh.
in that movie, and it's kind of a deer with a sort of human face. It
Cool.
looks kind of fucked up, but it's kind of cool at the same time.
It
But
could walk
on
on
Anime is
water.
one hell of a
in
drug.
nature. And
It walks
when
on water.
walks-
Wherever it walks, it creates
Yeah.
flowers.
Yeah,
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, I
I
gotta
highly
watch the
recommend it.
movie. I was
And
just
then
thinking, like things that I wish could happen to me if I was a magical being.
its shape. It also changes shape when it becomes nighttime out.
Oh, cool.
So it changes with day and night.
Oh, neat. Okay, so I guess that like maybe Lulu is in the folklore of that thing.
there you go.
Yeah.
There you
Yeah.
go.
There it
Oh.
is.
There he is.
See, if that thing was purple, I'd be sold.
Very good movie.
Yes.
So
And there we go.
it's my turn.
Oh God.
And I was thinking about it. So I was thinking about a cryptid that I could like kind of sort of believe in. You ever like walk into a room or like quickly see something out of the corner of your eye
Ugh.
and it turns out that it was like, especially if you're going past a closet or something,
Ugh.
like it just turns out that it's just things are like arranged in a way that your like mind like quickly thinks that something's there, but when you really look at it,
Nothing's actually there.
everything was just in a weird shape.
Yeah.
How about that? A cryptid that's called the Hidden Ones.
Ooh.
And they move around.
I like that you named yours.
I named mine.
Yeah, but you named yours after yourself.
Yeah. They move around similar to ghosts. But they can only be seen by those who know what they really truly are. Otherwise, when they move, they act as like in your peripheral vision. And they're not there to kill people unless you know,
Ryan, you're literally describing shadow people.
there you go. Shadow people.
And again, thank you, Jess, for just knowing. We should really have Jess on this podcast for this trio, and then again the next trio, because she is literally a Jill of all trades right now.
She's been coming in hot with all of the cryptid stuff.
Just download Zoom on like your laptop or something that you can easily
Cellular.
chat with us for about an hour with.
Bless you.
Blessings.
Okay. Anybody else have to go? I think we all went,
I
right?
think it's just you, actually.
I already went.
No, he went.
What
Did you
was yours
black-
again?
The scary.
Oh
monster
yeah,
thing
no,
that-
don't put it back up.
Put it back up, Justin. Put it back up. Make him stare at it the whole time. We're doing
God,
recommendations.
I'll just turn the TV off. I'm so mad at you.
Okay, so we've come to basically the end. So it is that time again.
I'm gonna fill the void while you get the recommendation soundbite.
Oh wait, I see what happened.
Proud of you.
I kicked myself off
Double proud of you.
because I started
Well,
sharing.
hey, while you're doing that, why don't
Wait, no,
we
I
go
got
ahead?
it. Wait, it's that time again, people.
What time is it?
Ladies and gentlemen, it is recommendation time.
Okay.
Hey.
Recommendation time, people. Who wants to kick us off? I actually have 2 tonight, but I will go after someone. Who wants to kick us off?
I gotta grab something real quick, but otherwise I'll go third-ish.
Okay.
All right, I'll kick it
All right.
off. I'll kick it off. Okay, I got two. I've been drinking kombucha tonight. And this is the blueberry kombucha from the Urban Farm Fermentory in Portland. That place was delicious. It was really good price, really good. They have kombucha, hard cider, June, mead, all different kinds of fermented deliciousness. Check them out if you're ever in Portland. And then this book, if you live in Massachusetts, if you live in New England, this is kind of cool. So Lauren Coleman is a cryptozoologist, which is like who's super well known around the country. He helped found the Cryptozoology Museum. He helped found the International Cryptozoology conferences that happen in Portland every year. And so he wrote a bunch of books called like Monsters of Massachusetts or Monsters of Connecticut or, whatever state. And I definitely recommend, if you like cryptozoology, to check out if he's written a book about the cryptids in your state. This is where I got all of my information, or most of my information that I talked about today about the Dover Demon and a little bit about the Bridgewater Triangle.
Very cool.
Nice.
I could go next. My new headphones. They're great. It's probably terrible pictures of them. I am now using Corsair HS60 Pros. I really love them. They're extremely comfortable. The actual sound quality on them is pretty excellent. They're not. I got them for $60, which isn't terrible compared to like higher end things. They have some really fun, cool features. Is they have a removable microphone. They have several different input ports, including one that I could use them on my phone, which is pretty great for gaming headphones. You don't need a USB for it. You could actually use it on your phone. They also have features like a mute button and volume control on the actual headset that you could use. And they are extremely comfortable, and they feel very, very stable. They don't feel like they don't feel cheap. They feel very well made. I'm pretty sure the whole back piece is one piece of aluminum. Very good headphones. I tend to like things from.
They sound pretty good too.
Yeah.
So I did notice a difference when you were on to like they do sound a lot better. So it must be a good condenser mic.
Awesome.
Yeah.
That makes me happy.
So
all right, that's me.
Yeah. Very nice. So I guess I'll go second. Yeah, why not? I'll go second. So I have
This is
two.
third.
Okay, sorry, third, whatever.
Math is hard.
Yes, math is hard. So I have a video game and a TV show to recommend. So the TV show, I've watched the first 6 episodes, I think, of it. If you're a Star Trek fan, Star Trek Lower Decks is pretty fucking great. I did not know what to think of it going into it. It's a cartoon about Star Trek, but it's basically showing the background players, because all of the Star Trek TV shows always show you like the prime members of the crew and like the weird fucking shit that happens to them. But this is kind of showing you the background players and what happens on the rest of the ship. And
I love that.
yeah, and it makes fun of or pokes fun at some of like the things that happened. Like there's a character that's basically, well, Riker is actually in the show later on, but there's like a Riker type character, and it talks about like how he just fucks whatever he can. Like that kind of stuff. Q's on it. Q like fucks with them at some point. I sent Ryan a clip of Q fucking with them. but it's just really nice as a Star Trek fan to see like a show that shows you like the other guys and like a comedic kind of thing. Like it shows you what happens on the ship, and the prime like commanders always take credit for what they do when they shouldn't. And it's kind of like that thing where you watch Voyager and it's like they always congratulate, like whenever they have those parties that they congratulate them for doing something, it's always like 20 people in the room when the crew is like 150 people. So it's kind of like that. It's like there's these background people that are actually the real players that do the things on the ship. And I don't know, it's kind of funny to say. The game recommendation I have is Journey to the Savage Planet. It is an amazing game that I have not been able to put down. I bought it on the Switch because I don't have a PC that can play it, but I highly recommend you buy it on PC because the Switch cannot handle it as well as it should be handled. It plays pretty
they said the same thing on the besties just recently.
Yeah.
Whereas like they bought it on Switch just because they didn't have a PC that could run it, and it's fine, but
it's fine. You can notice things like enemies in the distance are very choppy. Their animation isn't that great. The draw distance is not that great. They had to cut down a lot of stuff for it to play on the Switch, but the game plays it awesome. Like I love the actual gameplay, but I highly recommend if you have a PC that can play it, buy it on a PC because it's a gorgeous game that I'm sure in, the high graphics looks amazing. So those are my two recommendations: Journey to the Savage Planet and Star Trek Lower Decks. That's me.
Woo. Who's left?
Go ahead, Riff.
All right. Well, I got two as well because I'm that guy. First one, just real quick. I've mentioned before, but Deus Vult Minis. Love them. Very easy to put together. The quality looks awesome. I've shown Ryan these like so many times, but little Templar guys that I'm building right now. They're gonna be for one of my Warlord Games armies. But the other one that I highly recommend is if you are a person who enjoys funny TikToks or people who can like do the lip sync really well, go onto TikTok or whatever and find yourself Sing Natra, and she's actually watching right now down below. Sweetest human being in the world. I cannot wait for you folks to actually meet her on camera. But Jess, I adore you. You're such a good person. And your content is wonderful for all to enjoy. So she does post everything to her Instagram, which I'm not going to put on blast until I find out that it's okay. But Sing Natra, and I think there's an underscore at the end or in between the two. And it's a lot of fun for everybody to enjoy. Some adult content. No, there's not. I'm lying. And that's it.
So what's next week about? I forget. What are we doing?
Skip Steve.
It's okay. It's okay.
Steve, Steve, take your headphones off. I think it's gonna be Borderlands. All right, you're good.
Oh, he's gonna recommend a ceiling fan.
Steve, what's your recommendation? Is it Borderlands? It's Borderlands, isn't it? It's got to be Borderlands. Come on, tell me it's Borderlands.
I would love to, but actually, I was gonna do the Crocodile Hunter because
shoot me in the face.
So wait, tell me more about this because you were watching this earlier.
So this is a blast from the past. It's about Steve Irwin and his adventures in America, in Australia, Madagascar. I am watching it on Hulu because it is on Hulu now.
Oh, wow.
I found this and I am going to be recommending people to watch this because he was the original person to be kind to thy animal. And he talks about all different species. He has his own, or he had his own place in Australia.
Spoiler alert. Oh.
Well, he's been dead for what?
Like 15 years, I think.
A while.
Yeah, quite a while.
It's like, sorry, I'm just picturing the episode of South Park. It's like, dude, we know it's a costume party, but you really can't come as dead Steve Irwin. Oh, no, mate, I actually am Steve Irwin. Oh, well then, dude, no costume. Get out of here.
So wait, is this the original show, the OG show Crocodile Hunter?
I believe it is because I'm watching the style of the camera work and everything, and it is old school camera work. So I believe this is some of the original stuff that he did. I don't know if it's technically the first season because he came to America, and I think the first season was not about him coming to America first.
No.
But I could also be really wrong on that.
Most of the seasons, as far as I remember, were focused on Australia or
Yeah.
like traveling around.
Right, but the first season, he comes to America with his wife, Terry. No,
That's Terry.
yeah,
It's
Terry.
Yeah.
With his wife Terry because it's his first time in America because he always lived out in the bush in Australia.
Yeah.
So he always lived down under. So he came to America, and it was amazing for him to see all the American animals and everything else. He's the original nature guy, in my eyes.
No.
Well, no. Technically, David Attenborough is the original nature guy. Sorry,
OG.
Steve. So I love Steve
Or
Irwin.
jumping Jack Hanna.
That's why I said in my eyes.
Okay.
In your eyes.
But
It's Steve Irwin.
give it a watch. Rest in peace. And if everyone watches him, he might come back on Halloween because it is a full moon.
Biggest Smalls.
Okay.
Does Steve
Biggest
Irwin
Smalls.
appear on a
Biggest
full
Smalls.
moon?
On Halloween, he might.
Ooh, we
All
get
He
right.
might.
2 full moons. Guys, this is the best October. Minus it, I'm disassociating what's going on in the world. We get 2 full moons this October,
And Halloween.
and Halloween's on a Saturday.
Halloween's
And-
canceled, Val.
No,
Yeah, you
not.
can,
Yeah, I'm gonna sit in my house and eat my weight in chocolate.
I figured I was just gonna sit outside and wearing a mask and just throwing candy at cars.
Yeah, get one of
Yeah.
those like catapults or get like a t-shirt gun and
Build,
load.
I was gonna say build a potato cannon, just huck.
That's kind of
Just
Yeah.
but you only shoot candy corn at people. But not like packaged candy corn, like legit just pieces of candy corn. So it's like grape shot.
Just like
I'm okay with this.
yeah,
Okay.
Anyway,
Interesting.
Justin, take us out so I can
We are
get
wrapping
a
up.
final word.
Thank you for listening or watching us. If you want to listen to us again or catch up on any of our other episodes, you can find us on Spotify, iTunes, Google Podcasts, SoundCloud, YouTube, and a handful of other podcast platforms. If you can't find us on your favorite podcast platform, please let us know so I can work on getting us there. Our tag you can use to find us on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, and more is 3EP Podcast. Our website, which has just been relaunched, is 3eppodcast.com. Please come check it out and visit our host page to learn a little bit about us, our social media page to see our most recent posts, or our recommendation page to hear more of our team's recommendations if they ever get around to giving me any.
You only gave us this assignment like 2 days
Hey,
ago.
Mom.
Quiet you.
And I'm the only one who's done it.
I know, and I'm proud of you.
Thank you.
All right.
Yes, you're the only one that's done it, and you gave us Borderlands 2, you dick.
That's why I called him out on it.
I'm okay. You said give us a recommendation. I did
Yeah,
that.
not the
It's
same
not my
recommendation. No, not the same recommendation you gave us the very first fucking time we did recommendations on the podcast.
We've gone off track again, Justin. Finish us out.
We
Who
live
knows?
stream our episodes almost every Tuesday around 8 p.m. Eastern on YouTube. So follow us here, there, wherever. Please give us a like and most definitely comment so we know what you think about what we were doing, or let us know if you have any questions for us.
Join the live
if-
chat.
Yes, join the live chat every Tuesday, 8 p.m. If they are listening to us on SoundCloud or Facebook or YouTube or any of the other platforms that support it, what did they do, Steve?
Play Borderlands 2.
Like, comment, subscribe.
Thank you, John.
You're
Please
welcome.
also remember to check out our network at giveusashot.network. Again, that's giveusashot.network, where you can find our sister podcasts as well as our t-shirts and other merchandise.
Woo!
Anybody
forget
have
to-
a final word for our listeners before we go?
Yeah, I'm gonna go look at kittens and make myself feel happy after this week's episode.
The truth is out
We
there.
scared John.
Oh no. I have some final words. Be the
Yep.
cryptid. Be the cryptid you wish to see in the world.
Preferably a
Nice.
kitten, little tabby
like
cat,
So I could go
maybe a little
hide so
orange
no one
pumpkin
can-
kitty.
so-
Yeah, go hide in the closet, Ryan.
Yeah.